Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little more of a serious one. I haven't really been too vocal on all these different ICE incidents that have been happening, and I've seen a lot of videos and clips and arguments from both sides of the aisle, wherever you stand politically. And one thing that it really made me think, and not just regarding ICE, is that a lot of people are very quick to voice their opinions just based off of very short clips that they see online, or allow their emotions to build up very quickly and respond or react out of that, rather than backing up, taking a breath, and waiting until the facts actually are presented. That can go for anything, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. A lot of people are quick to believe a certain narrative about it based off of the person who's presenting it or talking about it. I know it can be hard a little bit sometimes when it's an outlet that you may trust or listen to a lot and quick or want to tend to believe what they're saying. But I think, to be fair, and like I said, no matter what side politically you're on, I challenge everyone to also look outside of the sources that you usually look at and to do your own research as well. Also be willing to listen to opposite points of view, not just people that are reacting emotionally or want to start an argument, the facts on a topic. And as more and more clips come out or the story divulges itself, then I think it's more, that's when it's more appropriate to give a response to it. We live in a fast food type of world, pretty much. Even with our entertainment, we want everything quickly, TikTok, scroll, next video. And, a lot of people are just basically impatient or don't want to do the work, but patience is actually a virtue. When you're quick to react a lot of times about things, it can make you end up looking like a fool. I'm not just making this video to try to point fingers or, call people dumb or whatever, because I admit that I've probably been in the same boat before, and everyone has. Also, I'd like to say, as many of you know, most news nowadays is typically negative. I remember when I was younger, a time when it's maybe almost seemed half and half, like they would report on some good or uplifting stories and then some negative, or it was probably still a little more negative, but nowadays the majority of it all seems negative. I'm not saying to never tune into what's happening in the world. Like, obviously you should try to stay updated, but I think that there's a lot of people that can take too much of that in and begins to affect them in a negative way. People may want to say, oh, it's because who we have in office now or whatever. Personally, I don't really believe that that matters as much, because honestly, there's been a lot of negative reporting that's been going on for years now, and I think that it can really tend to get to people. Also, whether you'd like to believe it or not, I think there's definitely selective journalism or reporting going on. No matter what side it is, it probably happens on both, and I think we could all admit that, if we're honest. They report on things that they want and on things that they don't, whether it's a negative or positive story. And at some point I asked myself, and I think that everyone probably should, why should we let someone else constantly tell us that we need to feel something about this particular story and they're not reporting this story? I think that, like I said, just taking a step back, doing our own research rather than just believing something because someone else seems to believe it or someone else is angry about it. And I can admit, sure, there's probably things wrong on both sides with ICE agents and with people protesting, just as there could be good people or people with good intentions that may be protesting, and I think good ICE agents or officers. Every situation is different, every scenario is different, and I don't like how people are so quick to label and put people into groups right away. That just further causes division. To be fair to all parties involved, you have to really look at each situation as an individual case. And I think most lawyers or people studying anything in law would agree with that. So the solution, I think people just need to quit letting other people define which stories you need to feel something about and which way you need to feel about them. And that's one reason I came up with the saying, an alternate view. In most cases, I don't think it's wise to be very quick to react about something, especially based on only a few seconds of a clip or story. For instance, I could show a video of someone getting curb stomped, and all you see is that, and you think, oh my God, how come that person just did that to them? And then, you back it up a little bit, and you could see that maybe that person had a knife and was trying to attack that person's family or something. Anyways, regardless, I know there's still people that are going to believe how they want to believe, but I'm just trying to point out there's a different way you can think or react rather than just two ways. I also seen a post recently and it said don't be Democrat or Republican, and no, it wasn't. I don't think it was promoting like the Libertarian Party or whatever. It just said be a decent human being. You know, we're so wrapped up in the politics of everything that we fail to see any common ground or want to give anyone any type of leeway because it has to be our way or the highway. And a lot of times that makes it worse on everyone. My point is, you don't have to respond to everything that the news or say your friends are pressuring you to. Are they really your friends if you say that you just want a little more information about something before you go out and destroy stuff or protest? Also, just a little tip for anyone protesting. You don't have to be quick to be belligerent or break the law. Obviously, you're going to get arrested or there's going to be consequences that you don't like if you do that. I'd suggest if you think that whatever it is, that person's in the wrong, try to fight it in a reasonable, justifiable way through the law and the courts. Anyways, there's a higher way of thinking, guys. I just wanted to jump on here and say this real quick. Thanks for everyone who's followed or liked so far. My content offers things for all sorts of people, you know, whether you're into collectible type stuff, music, news, faith, things going on in the world nowadays, and comedy. Now, some of you may be like, wow, you're trying to appease everyone, or that's pretty ambitious. How can you do all of that? To be honest, no, it's just all stuff that I like. So I decided to put it all here. I don't fully have a schedule yet of when I'll be making posts or videos, but if you stick with me, I can assure you, you won't be disappointed. At least I hope. So thanks for tuning in. And if not, you're free not to.